Welcome back to American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com. Folks, I'm going to tell you, you want to listen to past episodes, go to WMEL, 1300WMEL.com, click on the Archives tab. We place them there and label them so that you can share them with your friends or re-listen. They're on MP3 format, really easy to share. We've got an incredible guest that we're going to get to in a moment, but there's a couple items I want to mention, a little housekeeping here. Look, it's coming up on lunchtime. Are you hungry? I'm hungry, and I got a great place for you to go grab a bite to eat and at the same time support a disabled combat vet. That's right, Sergeant Charlie Arispe has his food truck, Chachi's food truck, which is located just one block south of Aurora on Croton.
You can't beat the food. You can't beat the food, guys.
He does a phenomenal job. Charlie at Chachi's Cafe, one block south, I'll get it out. Block south of Aurora on Croton. Great food, great prices. Go say hello
right
to Charlie.
Here in Florida.
Get your red shirt, and he has a deal on Fridays. You wear your red shirt Friday, you get a percentage off, 10% off. So you gotta help these warriors out that are making a difference in our community and have protected the nation. Now, having said that, Scott, we got a really exciting guest, and I know you're chomping at the bit to get at it, but we got one more little bit of housekeeping. We got Space Coast Community Law School starting soon.
Yes, and they have, on March the 6th coming up, they have How to Think Like a Lawyer. They've got a great seminar coming up, and all you have to do is go over there, go right out to their website. You can give them a call at 321-269-6833. You register, you go and find out. They've got a whole bunch of other topics coming up.
Everything from contract law, trial process, and advocacy. The big one on April 3rd
is coming up is firearms.
Packs the house every time.
Yep. I mean, we've got wills and trusts and probate, auto accidents from beginning to end. That's a huge one. All of it is free. We also have the First Amendment. Know what the First Amendment actually is. Not what all these reporters are trying to say about it, or what somebody's trying to say, oh, that's not covered under the First Amendment. Know what it is. And that's April 24th. That's going to be a big one also.
And this is supported by particularly Britta Hawkins and Krista and others in her staff, Telfer, Faraday, Anderson, and Hawkins, obviously promoted through the goodness of John Harper and AM 1300 WMEL here on American Warrior Radio, Brevard County Legal Aid, Brevard Bar Foundation. It's free, people. It's free informational classes every Thursday now, starting 3/6 at the Justice Center out in Vieira. The number again, Scott, for them to call to register?
321-269-6833.
Or visit the website, easy to navigate, very clear cut. The schedule's there, other information, sccls.com. Sierra, Charlie, Lima, Sierra.com. Can't miss it. So with that said, we had to get a quick shout out to Britta and all the good work she's doing. Remember, it's free. Okay, it's free.
Yep.
Now, on the line with us, you've heard him before, but maybe it's been a while. We wanted to bring him back, particularly with the events that have been happening over in Iraq last month. We have with us a special guest, an OIF decorated war hero, Marine Sergeant Marty Gonzalez. Marty, are you with us?
I'm here.
Oh, coming through loud and clear there, Marine. Thanks for joining us again, Marty.
Well, thank you for having me again.
Cool.
I want to give the audience that maybe didn't catch you last time you were on the show, give them a little bio. I mean, where were you born and raised? You know, give us an idea why you joined the Marines and where you're living now.
I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I started out here in Houston, and my dad was in the Army. From that moment, I looked up to him, and the way he spoke about the Army and the way he would speak about the flag, it would always just mean something to me, and I didn't really necessarily get it fully until I was able to meet some of the people in the VA that he worked with here in Houston. Eventually it came my time to either go to college or go into the service. I wasn't really ready for college yet, but I was really wanting to do something in the military and do my part. And of course, I went to the Army first. The Army first told me I was too small to be a Ranger, but after that, I walked across the street and I faced my fears and I became a Marine.
That's a big leap of faith there, and once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yes. So eventually from there, I was in my first 4 years. I joined in '99, so 2011 hadn't happened yet, and of course I was a naive American thinking no one would ever do anything like 9/11, and when it happened, it caught everyone off guard, and including myself. So basically in '99, I seriously just joined for college because I didn't really have the money to go to college either. So it was one of those benefits that we were going to get, but it also did a good experience, and I could always look at the flag and in a different way, and also honor the guys that have fought for that flag and bled for that flag and died for it as well in my own personal way, and then just do my part in giving back to America, for everything it's done for me. So, but either way, once 9/11 happened, it was a big blow to me personally. I'm sure everyone can remember where they were that day, what they were doing.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So, but I was with 3-3 at that time in Hawaii, out of K-Bay and the Marine Corps, and we stood up to get ready for war, and then we were stood back down, and eventually they came to the opportunity where I'd stay in or get out, and I elected to get out in 2002 and try to see what was going on in the outside world. I really didn't think the war was going to last a year. I was thinking of the first Gulf War. I just didn't think that it was going to go so long. And then, about a year into it, I was watching, and I kept seeing Fallujah, and I kept seeing the Triangle of Death, and I kept seeing, Ramadi, Fallujah, and Baghdad, and Najaf, and these other places, and I just, for some reason, I started to pray. And I'm not real big on religion, but, I got real close with God during this period, and I was praying. And I said, God, please put me in Fallujah. I want to see with my own eyes what's going on there. I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. Please give me an opportunity to lead Marines in combat. And I kid you not, about 2 weeks later, a phone call came in, and they were asking me to go back in because they needed corporals and sergeants into the Marine Corps as combat replacements. And just as volunteers, so I immediately hung up with the recruiter. I actually said, sign me up, and I'll call you right back. I called my dad and my mom, and I told them that I had to go back. I actually lied to them because I knew they weren't going to be happy with me volunteering. and they were probably going to call me crazy. But it was all, I felt like I had to do my part. Even though I was in the Marine Corps and I never served in combat, that always ate me up when I got out. And then to watch them die. But at the same token, I really never thought we were ever going to last that long in war. I just it didn't click, and
Sure.
When I realized that, they needed me, I jumped on the opportunity, and I had to prove it to myself, and I wanted to prove it to myself. And then, just looking at all the men passing away, it hurt my heart, and it hurt to be sitting there and just watching on TV. But long story short, I made that prayer. They called me. Careful what you ask for sometimes. God does answer your prayers, and He does it in a way where, sometimes it's amazing, and I got the opportunity to go out and be a Marine with 3-5 and be a sergeant with them.
Hey, Marty, I really understand where you're coming from. Being in the Army actually during the first Gulf War, and, it absolutely was a leadership opportunity for ground pounders. And unfortunately, you weren't taken into the Rangers like I was, and I can't believe that because we had some people that were no bigger than my knee in my unit, and they were the greatest people in the world. But before we start getting into everything in Fallujah, take us into your operations.
Because on the military channel, for everybody that's listening right now, there's an awesome documentary that you did with the Ultimate Warfare series, Fallujah, The Taking of Terrorist Central, and it's a good way for the listeners to familiarize themselves with really what was going on there, because it's, as has been termed, the toughest urban warfare since Vietnam. So, first of all, what was the name of the operation that you carried out over there in Fallujah?
In Fallujah, we went into Operation Fan and Fury back. It was the second go around. The first go around was in April. They were pulled out for political reasons. And when we got the green light, we were able to pretty much tell the insurgents and the people there that, hey, we're coming. You got a week to get out. You have your amnesty for a week. Once the week's up, you're with them. And basically, the people in Fallujah that were good, and some of the cowards that were saying that they were big name fighters, like Zalkari ran. He had his opportunity to run, and we couldn't stop it. But the hardcore fighters stayed there, and they were ready to fight. And when I was out there, I received 2 Bronze Stars and 3 Purple Hearts. So the show that you're referring to is they show a couple of my Bronze Stars reenacted. And on the show, on the first time that I received the Bronze Star, one of my Marines passed away. His name is Lance Corporal George Payton. And
rest in peace, brother.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Sorry to hear that.
Right. So he did everything I could ask for as a second fire team leader. He stood there. He wanted to take charge and run through the door first. And when you go through the door first and the combat situation in the CQ kind of the way our close quarter combat, when you're going through the door in that type of situation, you have about 97 percentile chance of dying. So for George to do that for us, and then he got caught in the doorway. The firefight lasted about 15 seconds, but if I could, I have it memorized like it lasted for an hour, and so.
And folks, we're talking with Marine Sergeant Marty Gonzalez, a very highly decorated war hero from Operation Iraqi Freedom, in specifically Operation Phantom Fury. Marty, I know it's even difficult. I can hear it in your voice for you to recount this, and yet, like you said, it's as vivid as if it happened just moments ago. It just won't leave you.
Right.
So, go ahead.
I'm sorry. In another part, as we were going through the city, we were clearing out the city, and all over the place. The insurgents were saying they were not using the mosque or not just the insurgents, but just the dirty people inside of Fallujah that were, oppressing the good people. That they had no choices. They have no, they have no freedoms like we do here. And just the way they were, just pushed to do whatever this one person said, because that's the way they wanted it, and they had guns and more power than them. So basically, when we went in there, we pulled those bullies out. Now, I mean, if I can refer it into civilian terms, it'd be like a bully. Just an evil bully to the million extent. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted, not only to women, but to kids and whatever. If they didn't like them, they were, they could kill them and no one would care. But regardless of that, that's why we were in there, and that's why we wanted to take this place. And the reports of the mosque not being used as a
place of worship,
of worship. They
right.
would be shooting from these mosques, and we could not go into these mosques because they were protected by our rules of engagement.
Right. You know, Marty, this is probably why the U.S. military called it some of the heaviest urban combat the Marines have been involved in since the Battle of Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam in 1968.
Right. So, and then, it was just a very, very good thing that what we did in Fallujah. Eventually, the government let us take our gloves off and actually do our job for once. And overall, we smashed that city. If they had anything to do with Al Qaeda or anything like that, we made them know that they were no longer allowed our welcome into Fallujah. And if they were going to pay the consequences.
Right, and Marty, remember, you guys did this with honor and integrity, and you played by the rules. You kept your morals. You did what was proper. You didn't go into those mosques. You didn't do anything against their religion or anything else. You went in, you did your job, you followed the rules.
And you got the job
done. As they were, and you still got your mission done, and you took care of your troops. You did an excellent job for everybody.
Well, and that's right. That's why I say for the people that were there and they were oppressed and just, having to take this stuff, these were the guys that we were taking out for them. So, they can see the light of day. When I showed up to Fallujah before in September, ironically September 11, 2004 time frame, it was like a dark gray cloud over that, and by the time I would hit my third time with my third Purple Heart, you could see the sunlight breaking through, and it's ironic to tell you that I didn't get to see the voting going on in Fallujah because I was hit early. In 3 months I have 3 Purple Hearts. So,
but you still allowed that to be happening. Yeah, even though you didn't see it, you're still part of the big reason why that happened. So you have to be proud.
Yeah, you accomplished your mission, and Marty, time flies on American Warrior Radio, and I know you're chomping at the bit to get to this. Seeing the images of the Al Qaeda flags flying over the buildings in Fallujah and Ramadi, since last month now, what's that do to you and your brothers and sisters in arms? What does that mean? Is that devastating? Give us some insight there.
When I heard the news the first time, I was disgusted. I said, no way. And then, I thought about it, and I said, it doesn't surprise me, not with the way the government is right now, not with the way they seem to not care, and it's just one thing after another, and they're pulling troops out, and to me, it's dishonorment. If you may not agree with the war, and I got you, but we're there. We owned it. If we're going to own it, then let's do it right and give it back to these people. When we were there, we promised these people to take care of them. I understand that, some people have a problem with Bush. I didn't. I believed in his mission, but that was that's me. And I'm not saying that on everybody, but, we were there. If the mistakes were made, they were made. Now we have to own it, and we have to leave those people because they trusted us for those years to protect them. And the reason that, some of them were on the fence, that they said we have to get these fence getters and make them love us. They were on the fence because we kept telling them, hey, we're leaving. Hey, we're leaving. Well, they have to live with those insurgents, and they knew it. And they knew that this was going to happen, and we kind of knew it. But at the same time, I was hoping, somebody would step up and say, no, sir, no, this is, BS. We can't just back out on these people and leave them here. They're going to get killed again. The same thing's going to happen. And, you see it now.
Exactly.
It's just no big deal. And, me speaking out and saying stuff, people say, well, yeah, suck it up. You're a Marine. You did what you were told to do. That's what, But then I look around, and, I'm not trying to get into a big argument and political argument, but somebody stepped up and said, hey, there should be gays in the military. Hey,
Right.
There should be, we should allow turbans into the military. Hey, this and this. Well, if someone can step up for that stuff, which is minimal in my eyes, and some of it's big, honestly, I really don't care if gays serve in the military. I'm glad that happened, but like I said, now they're allowing women into combat, roles and stuff like that, and that's fine as long as there's no, changes in how they have to physically do the things and they can meet the requirements. Hey, more power to them.
I hear you, and that's a good note to end on, Marty. I promise you, brother, we're going to have you on again to discuss more of your displeasure with the way things are turning out there in the Anbar province, particularly Fallujah. But we're running out of time. It just flies by. Thank you, Sergeant Marty Gonzalez, decorated war hero, for spending a few minutes with us on American Warrior Radio today, brother. And congratulations on your new baby.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, that is Staff Sergeant Marty Gonzalez, Marine Corps war hero. We're running out of time. American Warrior Radio will be back with you next week, but I just wanted to throw Glenn's... Hey, can you mention the quick number? Throw that out there.
The Veterans Crisis Line. If you're having problems, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-273-8255 and press the number 1 and get some help, please.
And as Glenn always says, don't forget, thank a vet.